Well, night, my boy. Just wanted to call you and tell you that I think you've done a fine job. See what the paper said this morning?
No, Mr. Bowen, I didn't.
They're calling our TZ100 prototype the fastest computing engine in the world. Excellent for the purposes of mathematics, or even beyond that. What's wrong, Nipe? Aren't you pleased? Aren't you proud?
Of course, Mr. Bowen.
I don't think I have to remind you that your contribution, especially to original plans, was an excellent one. Bet you take a week's holiday. It'll do you good.
I don't know, sir.
I'd like you to take a week's holiday. You've earned it.
All right, sir, if you wish.
Adolf Knipe has just had an epiphany about a simple truth, and it was this: that English grammar is governed by rules that are almost mathematical in their strictness. Given the words and given the sense of what is to be said, then there's only one correct order in which these words can be arranged. Therefore, it stands to reason that an engine built along the lines of the electric computer could be adjusted to arrange words, instead of numbers, in their right order, according to the rules of grammar. Then feed it with plots and leave it to write the sentences. Adolf wasted no time with his new idea.
Well, night, my boy. You look, better. Did you have a good holiday?
Look, Mr. Bowen, I've had an idea. A machine that can write books.
Knipe went on to explain that he's always dreamt of being a writer, but has never been able to sell his work. Using his new machine, he called it the Great Grammatizator, they could print out books far faster than any writer, set up their own literary agency, and distribute the books under made-up names. They could even use their own names if they wanted to.
I just don't know about all this. It's kind of hard to believe. You show me this machine, and maybe I'll believe you.
And so Knipe printed his stories. Much to the delight of Mr. Bolan, they were hits. Concise, clever, and effective. Each story spurned out by the machine was as good as the last. Thus, Bolan and Knipe Literary Agency began. The money started pouring in. Knipe deliberately stepped up the output, and in 6 months' time he was delivering 30 stories a week and selling the majority. He began to make a name for himself in literary circles as a relentlessly prolific author. At the same time, Knipe was building up a horde of fictitious persons as promising young authors. At this point, it was decided to adapt the machine for writing novels as well as stories.
See here, Mr. Bowen, we still have too much competition. Why don't we just absorb all the other writers in the country?
Absorb? I'm not quite sure I know what you're talking about.
I mean, exactly like Rockefeller did. Simply buy them out. And if they won't sell, we squeeze them out. It's easy.
That's bold, Knipe. Too bold.
I have a list here, Mr. Bowen, of 50 of the most successful writers in the country. What I plan to do is offer each one of them a lifetime contract with pay. All they have to do is undertake never to write another word. And of course, to let us use their names on our own stuff. How about that?
Preposterous. Never agreed to that.
You don't know writers like I do, Mr. Bowen. All they're interested in is money, like everyone else.
In the end, under much duress, Mr. Bolan agreed to the plan.
And so, if you agree to the contract, you'd be taken care of for life.
But it took more than a one denial to discourage Knipe. His next visit was to a popular romance novelist.
Well, it's all quite interesting, but you realize it's a bit hard to believe.
Well then, miss, why don't you come see it with your own eyes?
Sure. I'd like to see this machine work.
A romance novel by you.
As Valerie read the novel, she became more and more interested. After getting through only the first several pages of it, she was ready to commit to the idea.
There's one of them out of the way.
Nice work, my boy.
You know why she signed?
Not a clue.
She saw the machine's writing was better than hers. We did it.
This last year, it was estimated that at least 1/2 of all the novels and stories published in the English language were produced by the Great Automatic Grammatizator. Does this surprise you? I doubt it. Today, as the secret spreads, many more are hurrying to tie up with Mr. Knipe, and all the time things get worse for those who hesitate to sign their names. This very moment, as I sit here listening to the crying of my 9 starving children in the other room, I can feel my own hand creeping closer and closer to that golden contract that lies over on the other side of the desk. Give us strength, O Lord, to let our children starve.